Welcome to the second video in a series on the Music Online databases. Today we're going to look at the American Song database, which you can access through the Lincoln City Library's website, courtesy of the Pauline Music Library. Go to lincolnlibraries.org, click the Resources tab, then Online Resources. You'll want to choose Access from outside the library. I'm going to choose Access inside since I'm inside the library recording this. You'll want to have your PIN number and your library card number handy to log in. Go down to the Arts, Music, and Entertainment section, and you'll see a Music Online section there with 6 subcategories, and today we're going to look in more detail at the American Song section. As the description says at the top of the American Song database, the American Music section is a history database that allows people to hear and feel the music from America's past. The database includes songs by and about American Indians, miners, immigrants, slaves, children, pioneers, and cowboys. Included in the database are the songs of civil rights, political campaigns, prohibition, the Revolutionary War, the Civil War, anti-war protests, and more. So this is a great place to look for music connected to the history of the United States, as well as folk and Americana music that developed in our nation. Just like the main federated search that looks through all of our Music Online databases, you can simply type in what you're hoping to find in the search bar, or you can go to the advanced search. Here you can look at things in more detail. Any of the categories that have the Select Terms option to the right of the search box, for those your best bet might be to click there and look through those options first. But mostly I think it's more interesting to browse while you're in these individual databases, as you might find out about recordings or artists you didn't know about before. It's kind of the virtual equivalent of browsing the stacks when you visit the library, right? So let's browse and look at a few interesting finds in the American Song database. This is a great place to look for blues music. So here's 11,123 results, just looking in the blues area. You can search by instrument on the side here. I should explain these a little bit. Search by instrument is a little funky if you're not familiar with these terms. Aerophones are horns, both brass and woodwinds. Membranophones are drums. Idiophones are percussion other than drums. Chordophones are going to be your strings, both bowed and plucked strings. Let's go ahead and search for a particular blues artist here. I'll close out of here. And let's go back to the main search and put in Leadbelly. And here we have 120 results for different albums that have Leadbelly on them, including a number of excellent document recordings that were conducted by the Library of Congress, put these together originally, that are an excellent archive of Leadbelly's recordings. You can click on any of these and go in and listen to the recordings. And as I mentioned in the first video, you can go in and look at the metadata for individual tracks, as well as picking through all the tracks. There's related documents, which will be your liner notes. Now let's try searching by event. Under the advanced search category, you can actually click on the select terms and bring up a bunch of different terms for historical events that have occurred that are already listed in here. There are songs written about these particular events. A pretty wide variety of things, some about American history, some about international history, just Americans who wrote songs about international events. But let's go ahead and search for women's suffrage. This year is the 100th anniversary of the ratification of the 19th Amendment, which gave women the right to vote in the U.S., and there were lots of songs connected to the suffrage movement, so let's see what we can find. Indeed, here we have Folkways Records' Songs of the Suffragettes. So we'll click on this, and it looks like we'll have 16 or so tracks. Yeah, 16 tracks of really interesting music that was written as part of the women's suffrage movement. So let's do another search. We'll go back, and let's see what we can find in this database related to Nebraska. And it looks like our first hit here will be Sweet Nebraska Land, which was a Roger Welch recording that came out in the mid-60s on Folkways Records. You can listen to that here as well as read the liner notes. Down at the bottom, we'll go back out here. You can look at different things by their publication date as well. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and click on some more recent things. So let's see what kinds of new recordings are on here, or as new as we can get, just out of curiosity. And as we go down here, Looks like there's a Mezcal Brothers album here, which was released on Spin Out Records from Lincoln in 2007. They play at the Zoo Bar a lot. And another Zoo Bar stalwart, 4020. Their recording that was recorded here at Presto Studios as well in Lincoln. Their record that came out in 2006 is there. So you can find some interesting Nebraska recordings on this database as well, even though it's a nationally focused database. If we go back out to the browsing section and just look through the genres, we can see that this database is heavily weighted toward blues and jazz and folk traditions in American music. But as we scroll down, we can find some examples in other genres too. There's even a little children's section if you're looking for some new tunes to entertain the family while we're all at home. You can find a few things there to play. So that's a quick overview of the American Song Database. If you have any questions, you can contact the Poly Music Library by emailing me at polley, P-O-L-L-E-Y, @lincolnlibraries.org or call 402-441-8520.